Today's story is one of horse stealing on the Great Plains. To the native nations of the Great Plains, most of which were nomadic horse peoples, stealing horses from enemy tribes was an important part of the culture. Native American warfare was much different than European warfare. In native warfare, the goal was not usually to completely wipe out your enemy, but rather to prove your own bravery and drive rivals out of your hunting grounds. Stealing horses was one of the main ways young warriors of the plains could prove their bravery, as sneaking into an enemy's camp was extremely dangerous, and being caught would mean certain death. Many young warriors never returned from horse-stealing raids. But the reward of coming home with captured enemy horses was often worth the risk. Successfully stealing a horse was a rite of passage in many warrior tribes of the plains, and would earn a man respect within his tribe. But being a skilled horse thief wasn't just a way to prove your bravery and earn status as a warrior. It was an extremely profitable economic strategy. With horses being essential to life on the plains, they became something of a currency. In many tribes, you could judge a man's wealth based on the size of his horse herd. Horses were used for everything: trading, transporting teepees, hunting, and war. A good horse was especially important for buffalo hunts. A hunter thrown from his horse in the middle of a buffalo stampede would surely be trampled to death. So powerful horses were trained over long periods of time to not fear buffalo and to run straight even if caught in a stampede. War horses were also carefully chosen and trained to not panic during battle and to respond to their rider's commands even in stressful situations. These buffalo runners and war ponies were often a warrior's most prized possessions, and a single one could be worth dozens of untrained wild horses. Because of their extreme value, these horses would often be kept separate from the main herd, and would be tied directly outside of a warrior's teepee. Because of this, they were the most dangerous horses to steal, as you would have to sneak within feet of your sleeping enemy and cut the horse loose. To steal an enemy's buffalo runner or war pony was an extremely brave act that could earn a man respect and make him wealthy at the same time. Warriors would sometimes watch an enemy's camp for days, waiting for the perfect opportunity to steal their desired horse by any means necessary. Today's horse-stealing story comes from the Pawnee, who were known as cunning and skillful horse thieves. It's called A Cheyenne Blanket. This story comes from Pawnee oral tradition and was collected by George Bird Grinnell, published in the book Legends and Lore of the American Indians, edited by Terry Hardin. The Cheyennes, like other Indians, do not speak to each other when they are away from the camp. If a man leaves the village and sits or stands by himself on the top of a hill, it is a sign that he wants to be alone, perhaps to meditate, perhaps to pray. No one speaks to him or goes near him. There was once a Pawnee boy who went off on the warpath to the Cheyenne camp. Somehow he had obtained a Cheyenne blanket. He came close to the camp, hid himself, and waited. About the middle of the afternoon, he left his hiding place and walked to the top of the hill, overlooking the village. He had his Cheyenne blanket wrapped around him and over his head, with only a little hole for his eyes. He stood quietly watching the camp for an hour or two. Men began coming in from buffalo hunting, some of them leading pack horses loaded with meat. One hunter was riding a horse packed with meat, while he led another pack horse and a black spotted horse that was his running horse. Running horses are ridden only on the chase or on war parties, and after being used, they are taken down to the river to be carefully washed and groomed. When the Pawnee boy saw the spotted horse, he knew that this was the one he wanted. The hunter led the animal to his lodge, dismounted, and handed the ropes to his woman, and went inside. Then the Pawnee made up his mind what he would do. He started down the hill into the village, and went straight to the lodge where the women were unloading the meat. Walking up to them, he reached out and took the ropes of the spotted horse and one of the pack horses. The woman fell back, doubtless thinking that he was one of the owner's relatives come to take the running horse down to the river. The Pawnee could not speak Cheyenne, but as he turned away, he mumbled something, in a low voice, and then walked towards the river. As soon as he had gone down over the bank and out of sight, he jumped on the spotted horse, rode into the bush, and soon was away with the two animals, stolen out of the Cheyenne camp in broad daylight.